You're listening to Quick Wins for ADHD Moms. Hey, I'm Jessica Lynn Lewis. The last two episodes, we have had the wonderful Leah Carroll join us. I hope you've been learning so much from her. I know I have. And because the last episode was so long, we decided to split that up so that we keep it at 20-minute episodes. So this actually is the second part of the last episode, and we're just going to jump right in.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, when you kind of wake up and you can do any of them, and maybe they all are genuinely the same priority. None of them have a real deadline. Nobody's really waiting on it. Then you can go into this spiral of decision paralysis. I just don't know which one to choose. They've all got about 10 steps. They're all overwhelming me. I'm just going to kind of do something else that's easy. That could be cleaning your house, which is great because that needs to be done. But
Yes.
it's not
I
going to
find
be
too that I process things like, okay, I'm just going to go put the laundry in or fold laundry. And as I'm folding laundry, I'm able to process, like slow down and process, oh, okay, I know what I need to do now. I need to work on this. This can wait.
Yeah. And a lot of times we will go to things like that. Like I find myself, and I'm not one of those people that I'm like, I love cleaning. It brings me calm. I'm not one of those people, but I find myself going towards those tasks because I know exactly how to do them. There's no,
Oh, that's why.
there's no, what's the word? Ambiguity, I can never say it.
Ambiguity. Yeah.
Thank you. There is none of that in folding laundry. You know exactly how to do it, right? Even though you don't really want to do it, it's straightforward. Same thing, like literally
And you can
cleaning.
think. It's not a heavy thinking task. So I find that when I'm folding laundry, I don't really realize I'm folding laundry because my brain is, I have it all to myself. Now, that was hard when I had the kids at home because you never have your brain to yourself. And that's a whole other episode of
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
trying to listen to children as you have like all this up here.
Yeah, everything rattling around and all of that kind of stuff. Which is another reason if you've got small kids at home, this is such a, it gives you an anchor point. So throughout your day when you're like, I don't even know, you're like, oh, I did this last night. This is my gift. This is a future gift. And when you think about it in that way, it feels like a favor, not a demand. And that's a really big, we talked about this in last week's episode as well. That's a really big differentiator for us. A lot of us struggle even slightly with demand avoidance. Most people do, which is, again, it's just is what it is. But how can I reframe this of like, oh, I'm going to feel really good if I do this. This is really going to help me get my morning off to just 1% better. And then 1% leads to 2%, 2% leads to 5%, and 5%, right? Like that's kind of how those go. This also, we talked about this, it reduces decision fatigue plus chaos first thing in the morning. You don't have to decide what the kid's going to wear. You don't have to decide what you're going to wear. You've already decided. It's already there. Right?
Yeah.
We only have so much capacity, or if you're familiar with the spoons theory, we only have so many spoons. And everything
I
we
just
do.
read that the other day and I was telling
Yeah.
my daughter about it. Yes, I was explaining it to her, the spoon theory.
Yeah.
So go ahead and explain that just really quick.
Well, the spoon theory, I don't really think the way that I look at it, my brain kind of computes it better in money, right? So you've got 100 $1 bills. Everything you do throughout your day costs some money. So picking out what you're going to wear in the morning costs $3. Picking out what your kids are going to wear costs $2 each. Deciding what you're going to wear or what you're going to eat for breakfast, $5. Deciding what you need to get from the grocery, $10. Deciding what you're going to cook for dinner, another $7, right?
So by noon, you're like $50 spent.
Exactly. And some of these things, depending on, where are you in your cycle? Maybe you're starting at only 70. Maybe you've only got $70 today. Maybe you got 30.
Or 5. I've got 5. I'm waking up with $5 to see how far we can get this.
Yeah, exactly. We're balling on a budget today, ladies.
We are going to Salvation Army with our $5.
Yeah, exactly. The dollar menu. But really kind of thinking about all of these little things. And I know specifically the mental load of mothers. is really high. And things that you're not even thinking about, like we talked about, where are the coats? Oh, it's Spirit Day today, right? These are all little
Oh,
things.
Spirit Day drives me nuts. As
Cracks
a
me up.
mom,
So funny.
Spirit Day is like, I know this is supposed to be fun, but my child wants this specific thing and we can't find it. And it was in the toy box, but we don't know where it is now. And we looked all last night so we could be prepared, but it's not there. But he has to have it because it's Spirit Day.
Exactly. And this is
Sorry.
something to keep in mind as well, and we're kind of rabbit holing here. If you know Spirit
Yeah,
Week is coming up, your Sunday, I have a membership community, and we have a can I say a small cuss word on this show? Am I allowed to?
sure. Go ahead. Go for
Okay.
it.
We have Get Your
Go for
Shit
it.
Together Sundays. So
Oh, I like it.
it is, yeah, everybody gets on, we turn off the mics, everybody looks at their calendar, and we get our shit together for the week. And that could be a really great thing for you if you know it's Spirit Week. Take a few minutes on Sunday. All right, guys, this is what we got going on. Monday's this, Tuesday's this.
Plan it.
What do we need? Who's gonna? All right, y'all are big enough. Go find your stuff. If you need my help, let me know.
Yeah.
But however that works for you. But be as preemptive with it as you can. I normally say only do the night before because doing a whole week leaves too much room for something to get thrown off, and then we go into all or nothing,
Yeah.
black and white. Well, now everything's gone to pot.
Yeah.
But in that case, it makes sense. Look at the whole week. What do we need to find? What do we need to do? And it won't always happen.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And
Again,
that's okay. We're going to roll with it.
these are just fail safes to kind of try to put those things in place. So another reason this is really great is it builds self-trust. Self-trust is really important for us. We struggle with it a lot as ADHDers
We do.
because of a multitude of things. We have struggled to trust ourselves. Are we making the right decision? Should I have said that? Should I not have said that? Should I have done it this way? Should I have done it that way? That's not how my mom did it. All of those things that are super fun. So
Yes, the overthinking and the I've messed up before a lot. And now I realize it's my brain, but also it is my responsibility to follow through. But how do I follow through? It's like all your past coming together and over.
yeah.
Yeah.
So setting up these little nightly check-ins, and again, maybe it doesn't happen Sunday to Thursday. Maybe it only happens twice a week or twice this week, 3 times next week. That is still showing up. That is what we talked about last week. That is persistence. That's what it looks like.
Mhm. I
We
think
could
too,
have
visually blocking that time off, like you have Sundays. We're gonna get our stuff together on Sundays together. I like the community part of that too.
it's great.
Because you take time to do that. Because
Yes.
I forget, honestly, I forget to carve out time.
Yep. Yeah, this is on the calendar. You get a reminder. It's all the things, and it doesn't take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Pop on, take
It
a
really
quick look at your
doesn't.
calendar. Yeah, it's really helpful. That made me think of, and this is a whole other episode that we could do, of like honoring your capacity. So we were talking about like today I woke up and I got $5. So if you've got $5 and you give $5, then you've given 100%.
Yeah. And to what? To what did you give that 100% to?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, does it
Well,
connect with what you value? Like, do you?
sometimes sometimes you don't have
Sometimes
the
it
bandwidth
can't.
to connect the dots, like, right? You've got to like, well,
Yeah.
I don't want to go to this parent teacher conference, but I have to do that. Or I told this friend that I would meet her and I really don't want to, but she's going through a really bad divorce. So I'm going to have a flexible boundary here, and I'm going to go ahead and meet her even though I'm running on zero.
Yeah.
Right. So just reminding yourself of giving 100% when you've only got 50% to give will leave you at a deficit of 50%. And if you keep putting yourself in a deficit, you will burn out and you will be exhausted and it will be a whole thing. So we've got to, and that's easier said than done. This is very, I'm kind of presenting it in a black and white manner, and it's definitely not, but just trying to be.
Right. It's very nuanced, but it's helpful to see it that way.
Yeah.
As well.
Definitely. Yeah. So like I said, building that self-trust every time you do one of these nightly brain dumps, this kind of nightly prep, your brain learns like, oh my gosh, I can rely on myself. This is great. I love this.
Yeah.
This feels really good.
And it works. It works. It's got
It
that hit
really
of
does.
dopamine. I will do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is kind of same, but different. So again, I live here, and whenever I fly out, I have to take really early trains and flights and blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
And I cannot tell you how many times I have pushed that to like, well, I could take the 5 a.m. train, but I could get away with taking the 7 a.m. train. So I'm just going to take the 7 a.m. train. And I've almost missed my flight so many times. And I have decided my new rule is you take the first train out of town, and it's at 4:45 in the morning. And I mean, unless my flight's at like 3 p.m., which it never is, it's always an early morning flight. It does not matter. You take the first train out, because German trains are historically unreliable. You will miss a train. Something will get delayed, and you will be in a full-blown panic that you're going to miss that flight. And it's just not worth it. It is not worth the cortisol. So now I plan, I'm taking that first 4:45 train. And I'm like, easy breezy. I don't care. Miss a train, grab a coffee. I don't care, because now I've got 4 hours to get to the airport.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've replaced it with now you have this time. It's like this gift of time that you gave yourself.
It's the gift of time. It's the gift when we were talking about at the beginning, that gift of calm. I mean,
Yeah.
it's travel day, so I'm only as calm as that will allow. But there is oh my gosh, I gave myself this gift. Yes, it sucked. I did not like getting up at 4 a.m. so that I could be ready and at the
Yeah.
train station at 4:45. I don't like that. And that's okay, because I can do things I don't like in order to get to where I want to be. Like, literally.
Mm. I can do things I don't like in
Yeah,
order to
it's like
get to where I really want to be.
Glennon Doyle, we can do hard things. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
We can do
Yeah.
hard things.
So,
We
so
tell
yeah,
our kids that all the time.
Mhm. Yeah, you can do hard things. We can too. And they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be precious. They don't have to be every single day. They just have to, and these are just things to add to your toolbox, right? You don't have to do this all the time.
Yeah.
You're on vacation, throw it out the window. You're on vacation and it still feels good, do it. You can decide to do all that. You have the choice
Yeah. I
about
love that.
that pause, that reflection, taking a beat. Okay, wait. What's gonna help me feel? How do I want to feel? What
Mhm.
actions align with that feeling? Yeah.
Yeah. And that, I mean, just right there, if that's all you do today is figure that out, think about the next year, how that could totally change your year or how it could totally change your next month.
Mhm.
Just taking that time to think ahead and prepare yourself for that next morning. And tying it back to last episode too, those micro things that you can do to habit stack. So I love how all of that really comes together. The evening
Yeah.
before and the morning, the micro habit stacking.
Yeah. So, maybe this is like a small plug for the podcast, but maybe you put the kids in bed and you listen to an episode of this podcast as you're laying out your clothes and filling up your water bottle and, throwing something together that you could take to the office for lunch tomorrow, or, whatever it is, because most of your episodes are 20 minutes, something like that. So
On
pop.
purpose, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So use that as the dopamine hit of like, "Ooh, I'm gonna listen to the
Mhm.
podcast because that's exciting and I like it."
Because I get ideas.
This is
Yeah.
this is a whole different thing. Dopamine stacking. So the pod gives you dopamine, the other things not so much. So we stack them so that we can do the thing that gives us dopamine with the thing that doesn't really give us so much. But then that way in the morning, you've woken up, you've got your water bottle, you've got your work bag packed, you've got, something to take for a snack, whatever it is. So yeah, all
Yeah,
kinds of
I
things.
love it.
And start
All
small.
kinds of things.
You don't have to, revamp your whole night. Start with one small thing that would help. Would it be good to I'm just going to go ahead and fill up the kids' water bottles. We'll start there. See how that goes. Just take
Yeah.
one thing off my plate in the morning. That's it.
Yeah, that's all. Now, Leah, you work with a lot of ADHD women, a lot of moms, and I
Mhm.
know everybody is so different. And so, can you really quickly just say what is one of the advantages of working with an ADHD coach?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of goes back to what you were saying. It really allows you to carve out that time for yourself And it allows a third party or a second party, the coach, to ask you those questions that you don't really take the time. Like you were saying, how do I want to feel in the morning? I don't know. I just want to feel like not so crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
let's take a minute. What does that mean? Where is the craziness? Well, we can never find shoes. Okay.
Okay.
What's something that can we do about that? Is there, a way that, when you get home, like I said, you've put something on your Google Maps that it knows when you pull in the driveway to send you a thing that says, put shoes, in the mudroom, whatever it is. Ask the kids to help. Hey guys, mom's having a moment. Can you guys remind me to take my shoes off when we get in the house and put them in the mudroom? That would be so helpful. Do you think you all could do that? They might not. But having that conversation, saying it out loud, bringing them into the fold, especially depending on how old they are, they might. Right. So it allows you to come up with things that you haven't really thought of yourself because questions have been asked in a different way. And then solutions are presented in a lighter way. Again, these are, at least the way my coaching works, these are options. You don't have to do a single thing that I have said, but you could try it. We can experiment with some things and see how it feels. Try it on, keep it if it fits. Right.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest benefit is it allows for that pause that we struggle to take for various reasons because we're too busy.
Yeah.
We've got kids, we've got jobs, we've got friends, we've got all the things. But then also sometimes we just don't know the questions to ask. And that's not a bad thing.
Huge.
It's just, we're too close to the, what is it? You're too close to the trees to see the forest, something like that.
That makes sense. Too close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're too close to it. It's you, right? And so
You can't see the whole thing.
you can't see the whole picture because it's hard to zoom out and see it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you are overwhelmed, you're done. You can't think. So
Exactly.
awesome. Well, if somebody wanted to work with you, wanted to know more about you, interested in these Sundays, where can they find you?
So you can pop over to Instagram. That is definitely the most social media that's the most active platform that I participate in. I am not a huge social media girly, so you will not see a ton there, but it is still the place that I show up the most. So that's going to be at adhd.coach.leah. There's all kinds of links there. You can get to my website. You can book a free 45-minute coaching call, no strings attached. Pop in. Let's see if we can get you some support. If you feel like it's a good fit and you want to keep moving forward, then I will tell you your options. Otherwise, lovely to meet you. Good luck. You can also just pop right over to my website if that's easier for you. It is leahccoaching.com. That's that.
Awesome. Wonderful. Everybody is in such a different season of life. And it's nice just to make all of these connections to let us know, like, we're not the only ones who are going through this and who are dealing with it. And you just seem so put together and you know what you're doing. And I'm sure that's not always been the story if you've had ADHD, but what I see is someone who, like, I see like a bodybuilder, like
Yeah.
you've habit stacked and you've put all these things together and you took all of these micro steps and you've built this thing that's working for you. And I think a lot of us want that. And so it's nice to be able to look and see, okay, here are the small little micro steps so I can get there.
Yeah. I think I really want people to know it's possible. It's just because it's always been a way doesn't mean it has to stay that way. It is possible to make these small changes and to make things stick. And like you were saying, you are not alone at all. And you don't have to go at it alone anymore. I think a lot of us try that and it's hard. So
it is. So, all right. Thank you again, Leah, for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's amazing. Yeah.
Well, thanks again for listening to Quick Wins for ADHD Moms. I hope you walk away. We're just learning so much about how you can apply these little tips to your life. And again, you don't have to apply all of them. Just listening and finding something that might work and you implement it into your day might be life-changing. And so that's why we're here. You can find us online at theadhdmom.com. We also have a dopamine hit list if you'd like to check that out. It's theadhdmom.com/dopamine. Well, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful week. Take the time to enjoy every moment with your kids this week.